My name is Jonathan Reed. And 15 years after my son vanished without a trace, a stranger walked up to me wearing the bracelet I made for my boy the day he was born. What happened next? Changed everything I thought I knew about grief, hope, and the truth we bury to survive. Even now, sitting here telling this story, my hands can't stop shaking. I've lived 59 years, survived heartbreak, war, betrayal, and the kind of silence that eats at you from the inside out. But nothing, absolutely nothing, compared to the moment I saw that bracelet again. To understand why that one small piece of silver nearly brought me to my knees, I need to tell you what happened all those years ago. My son, Adam, disappeared when he was just 13. A quiet Tuesday afternoon in late autumn, he walked home from school, waved to his friends, cut through Maple Ridge Park like he always did, and vanished. No struggle. No witnesses. No trace. His backpack was found near a creek. His bike was found leaning gently against a tree. But Adam, gone, like the earth swallowed him whole. My wife and I tore our lives apart, searching, police, flyers, interviews, sleepless nights, endless days waiting for a phone call that never came. The town rallied behind us at first search parties, community meetings, volunteers combing through forests, but after 6 months, people slowly returned to their lives. After a year, the search team disbanded. After 2 years, detectives were rotated out. And after 3 years, they told us the words no parent should ever hear, "We believe Adam is deceased." My wife collapsed into my arms. I couldn't. Something deep inside me refused to accept that my son, my bright, quiet, gentle boy, was gone. On his first birthday, I made him a bracelet. A small silver band with his initials and a tiny engraving inside. "Come home safe." Dad, he wore it every day. The day he vanished, the bracelet vanished with him. Or so I thought. My wife passed away 5 years after he disappeared. Doctors said it was a stroke. I knew better. Her heart broke long before her body did. I buried her with a picture of Adam in her hands and promised her I'd never stop looking. I kept that promise for years, until hope turned into exhaustion, until desperation rotted into guilt, until finally I stopped searching. I packed away his childhood things in boxes, sealed them, and stored them in the attic. I stopped driving by the park. I stopped watching the news for unidentified remains. I stopped imagining his face growing older. But grief never leaves. It just hides. It waits. And last week, it resurfaced violently. I was at a small roadside diner grabbing coffee after running errands. Same place I go every Friday morning. The door opened and a young man, maybe 27 or 28, walked in, scruffy beard, worn clothes, tired eyes. At first I didn't pay attention, but then I saw his wrist. A flash of silver. Familiar silver. My heart stopped. I blinked hard, thinking my mind was playing tricks. But no. When he reached up to run a hand through his hair, the bracelet glinted under the lights. My son's bracelet. Same engraving, same initials, same tiny scratch near the clasp from the time Adam scraped it against his bike. I froze. The cup nearly slipped from my hands. My ears rang loud enough to drown out everything else. The young man sat in the corner, ordered pancakes, didn't look at anyone. He didn't seem dangerous, didn't seem aware of me, but every instinct inside me screamed, "That's Adam's bracelet." I waited, observed, studied his face. He didn't look like my son. Different hair, different build, different eyes, but something about the shape of his jaw, the way he fidgeted with his fingertips like Adam used to, made my heart twist painfully. After 10 agonizing minutes, I stood up, walked to his table, and said in the calmest voice I could manage, "Excuse me, where did you get that bracelet?" His head snapped up instantly, eyes wide, not guilty wide, but scared wide. He pulled his wrist back under the table like he was protecting it. "Why?" he said defensively. "Because that bracelet," I whispered, "belonged to my son." The color drained from his face. His lips parted. His eyes darted around the diner like he was calculating escape routes. I didn't steal it," he said quickly. I swear. Then tell me where you got it. He swallowed hard, then said a sentence that made my skin crawl. A man gave it to me. My voice trembled. Who? He shook his head. I never knew his name. I called him Red. He was older. Maybe late 40s, beard, baseball cap. He found me on the street when I was a kid, gave me food, clothes. He said the bracelet was from a boy who didn't need it anymore. My stomach twisted violently. Where is this man now? His jaw tightened. He died. Years ago. I felt like the ground was shifting beneath me. The stranger continued quietly, but before he died he told me something. Something I never understood until now. He looked me straight in the eyes and my heart froze. He said the bracelet belonged to a boy he kept with him. Until one day the boy got away. My blood ran ice cold. Got away? I repeated. The stranger nodded. He said he searched for him for years but never found him. I felt dizzy, sick, terrified, hopeful all at once. Could it be? Could my son have been alive after he vanished? Could he have escaped? Could he still be alive somewhere? My voice shook as I asked, Did he ever tell you the boy's name? The young man's face softened with sorrow. He only ever called him the kid who wouldn't break. My breath caught in my throat. That was something I told Adam all the time. Whenever he struggled with homework, bullies, or anything life threw at him, I'd say, You're strong because you don't break, son. And he'd smile shyly and say, I'm trying, Dad. Tears blurred my vision. My legs trembled beneath me, but I forced myself to ask, Where did this man live? Where did he take you? The stranger hesitated. You won't like it. Tell me anyway. He exhaled long and shaky. A cabin deep in Wolf Pine Forest. No neighbors. No roads. No one around for miles. My heart nearly exploded. Wolf Pine Forest was less than 20 miles from where Adam disappeared. The police searched parts of it, but not deeply. Not the way I should have pushed them to. The stranger rubbed his temples, wincing. There was a room, he whispered. A basement room, soundproof, no windows. Just a mattress and blankets. He kept me there for months. My knees buckled and I gripped the edge of a table to steady myself. Are you saying my son was taken by this man? He looked down. Yes, and I think your son survived. At least for a while. My heart pumped so hard it hurt. How do you know? He reached slowly for the bracelet, sliding it off his wrist. Because the man Red used to talk in his sleep. He'd mumble about the one who escaped, and how he would finish what he started if he ever found him again. Rage pulsed through my veins like fire. Why didn't you ever go to the police? I demanded. His eyes filled with shame. I was scared. I was young, homeless, and Red took care of me after he stopped hurting me. I know how messed up that sounds. But when you're starving and alone, even monsters seem like saviors. I swallowed the bitterness clawing up my throat. Why tell me now? His voice cracked. Because I saw your missing person flyer online 2 weeks ago. And when I saw the bracelet's initials, when I realized the boy Red talked about might have been your son, I had nightmares for days. He placed the bracelet gently into my palm. I needed to give this back to you. My hand shook violently as I closed my fingers around it. It felt warm, familiar, like holding a piece of Adam again. Mr. Reed, he continued, voice quiet and heavy, I think your son escaped that cabin. And if he escaped, there's a chance he survived. A spark of hope, dangerous, painful, blinding, ignited inside me. A hope I'd spent 15 years burying. I whispered, why would he go into hiding instead of coming home? The stranger hesitated. Red said, he hurt the boy badly. Maybe the boy ran before he knew where he was. Maybe he didn't remember the way back. Or maybe... He swallowed. Maybe he was scared Red would find him again, and he stayed hidden to stay alive. I closed my eyes as grief and hope collided inside me like a tidal wave. That night I drove to Wolf Pine Forest. The stranger came with me. We hiked for hours, deeper than the search parties ever went. The forest swallowed us in silence. And then we found it. A cabin, weather-worn, abandoned, door broken, windows cracked. Inside the basement, a mattress, blankets, chains, scratches on the wall. A date, a name, a single word etched with shaking hands, Adam. I fell to my knees and sobbed harder than I ever had in my life. My son had been here. My boy had survived long enough to carve his name into the wall. And next to his name, another word, home? Not a statement. A question. A plea. And for the first time in 15 years I knew my son didn't die. My son escaped. And my son might still be out there. And I will not stop until I find him.